Rachel, this is a much improved essay, I guess, or response to the prompt than the last one. It was really quite impressive, to be totally honest. I can see that you used some of the stuff we talked about in class today in terms of how to sign off from a paragraph, to come back to that initial kind of idea that you open a paragraph with, you come back to it, and you do that really, really well. So the first paragraph in particular, I think, is terrific. There wasn't any real concealer in there, but you quite obviously opened up your piece with a reference that was directly related to the prompt, and it was a terrific example. Yeah, it was really well written, and you didn't, it wasn't universal. It was a real, you referred to yourself. Excellent. So that was terrific. And the last paragraph too, the pillars of salt paragraph, that was also terrific. You opened up with the pillars of salt. You came back to that idea at the end. Used your own experience in there. That's such a good formula, I think, for you to work with, and it really seems to work. You seem to be able to pull it off. The paragraph where you mentioned the silo, I think, isn't quite in the league of the others, only because it's just a little bit repetitive. Like it basically says that the farmers appear to be affected by something that happened around the silo, and it just says that in a number of different ways. And what I'd like you to do in that paragraph, and that's probably a good starting point to practice saying something. So ask yourself, what do I want to say here? Okay, so yep, you've almost said the same thing as your main point in the first paragraph, that we are definitely impacted by landscape even after we leave it. All right, but what you might want to say here that some people are, in the farmer's case, they actually haven't even left the landscape. They feel trapped in the landscape. And so they're impacted by landscape. And so even when we don't leave landscape, sometimes landscape impacts us so much that we can't even leave it, because in the farmer's case, we don't really know why they can't leave, but they seem to be, the lady feels trapped in that place. So really your next step now is to write like that and use that formula, but keep working on examining the prompt and the ideas in it and having something to say, something new and different to say or expand on in each paragraph. That I think is a really good idea. Maybe another thing too, I might have liked just one more paragraph. So it was about 630 words. It was very well written. The last the way that it finishes though is just like a general, it goes back to that universal type statement about we're always influenced by places that we leave. And maybe I would have, we don't need a conclusion as such, as we don't need to have a concluding paragraph. Instead, maybe another paragraph there where you're saying something different about the prompt yet again, okay? And you just leave it at that. So in that way, like the last kind of sentence that you used to finish the piece off just went back to that universal type statement. And I just don't think it worked, considering that the rest of the piece was really personal and you were using personal ideas, and it was written really, really well. So lots to like here, lots to like, and I'm really pleased that you've taken on board that stuff we talked about in class and created, this piece that you've written is streets ahead of the last one. The last one was pretty impressive, So this is good stuff. You should be feeling confident leading into Tuesday. Well done.